Welcome, welcome to Making It Easy to Be Human Club. Yeah, if you bought the book, It's Not Easy to Be Human. Your membership is free. You're automatically in, and you get benefits. The type of benefits you get are meeting with me every couple of weeks, periodically to go over some of the chapters or some of your questions or some of your readings and see how they're enhancing your life, making it easy for you to be who you are, whoever you are. And as we progress, my hope and my vision for this club is that people would, members, community would create subclubs. For example, some clubs could be for mothers, for women, for mothers, for spouses, wives, husbands. Making it easy to be a husband, for example, might be something of interest to some people, where people can actually utilize the teachings in the book to make life better, to make life more effective, easier, faster. Well, not faster in a sense of pace, but in a sense of making less mistakes, making less second guessing ourselves less, and so there are some lots of great lessons in this book that I hope you have by now or would buy. The QR code next to my behind me is where you can purchase the book if you don't have it, or you can take a picture of it and send it to someone that you would love for them to have the book. But my intention for holding these sessions are to gather a community around difficulties that we encounter as a human being. You know, every creature, we are one of designed for them by nature, is within them. But us to be human is not easy. We're not born with a full set of program that says, okay, this is how you speak, this is how you act, this is how you interact with other people, this is how you feel, this is how you think, this is how you speak, you walk, you manage life, and every single thing we have to learn from the scratch. And it's really not easy for us, because especially because not because we cannot learn, we could learn a lot of them, but especially because we learn a lot of things that are false, faulty, or steer us the wrong way, or we come with some biases, with our own innate biases that our brain adopted to make life more efficient for us. So, what do you think?
Isn't that wonderful? And I think your title is so catchy as was racing around the house just now with so many things juggling and then trying just to set aside the time. I started laughing and I went, "Oh, it is not easy to be human." And then it just sort of put everything in this
Yeah.
joyful calming way. And then want to know the second thing that comes,
Huh.
which has been on my heart all week. Be my own hero,
Oh, yeah, you are.
right? And that, I mean, I get goosebumps and I
Yeah.
really got emotional reading that part of the story this week.
Ah.
And just your story and
Oh,
your
okay.
personal journey with that and
No, sorry, I
really
paused,
putting that
paused it.
part.
Yeah. Yes, so the hero's journey, did you find yourself as you are the hero in your life right now?
Well, what struck me
Ah,
was asking that question. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, you're already there. And I had to think about that. Like, oh my gosh, I work with parents and children. What am I healing? And it's true, right? Like,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. So you saw yourself, you're already there, and you started asking your questions about, oh, yeah, because we're always thinking there is more to learn and more to achieve and more to be. Oh my God, I have a lot already. Can I use that?
I met Manijeh and started taking her meditation classes. I don't know how many years ago. And I'm just so honored and blessed to have met Manijeh and
Ah,
learned so much of her wisdom.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I was fortunate enough to work with Manijeh and help her open a center, a
Mm,
mindfulness center, and went to her retreats. And now I'm
mm,
trying to take all this wisdom and lifelong learning, right,
mm.
to what I do, which is working with families and children.
Oh, nice.
So yeah. So I'm so grateful to be here today and be a part of this amazing accomplishment
ah,
and
Right.
wisdom.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you've been around a while, like
Ah,
with the old,
A long time.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. What
We've
about
been,
you?
I feel like we got to get, Manju, we met what in 2019, right before COVID, I want to say, right? A few months before COVID. It was end of 2019, right? And then COVID happened, and it's, wow, I can't believe it's been that long. Yeah. So
Mhm.
retreats, classes, trainings, it's one-on-one work. It's been amazing. Yeah.
yeah, but
Wow. I
tell
can't
her
believe
about what you do.
I'm a therapist. Um, so thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I know, it's hard to do that work with yourself, right? But I love the accountability and the knowledge, and it rolls into
Yeah.
everything, yourself, your work. I'm a better clinician for it, and it's just
Yeah.
really just getting in touch with your humanness, right? And acknowledging all that and working through it in a kinder way, I suppose, right?
For
What
sure.
else are you gonna do?
Mm.
These sessions as a sort of a support system for reading your book and applying them. You know, a lot of these lessons in the book may sound philosophical, theoretical, abstract, or something, but they're absolutely applicable to our lives, and that's my intention for holding these sessions so that we can be a community and help utilize them, benefit from them, not just be another book that you read and you say, oh yeah, oh that's nice, oh maybe, or even maybe I don't agree with this part or I don't agree with that part, and you have no connection with the author, you know, you're left with your own interpretations or your own whatever you take away from it, and that's it. So I'm here. I'd like to be present for you during your journey, your process. And look, it's not easy to be human. I think it's something we can agree on. And this is a club, a membership club that when you buy the book, the membership is free. You come in and you meet the author, you can bring your questions, your dilemmas. I know people don't have time to read and they want to do audio. I'll get the audio out. But um, the world is also, I think, shifting a little bit towards doing things the old way. Things are being so automated and so scary for a lot of people to go through AI that people are willing to go the old way, open the book and read it. And I'm creating companion versions of it where there are questions and reflection questions that you can utilize to get deeper into them. So little by little, they'll come out, they'll be offered to you. And we have some members here. We've been talking before I hit start. I heard recording, and they've shared some benefits that they've taken away. And so, not to take any more of their time, I'm going to just introduce a little bit about the book, which is a combination of at least 60 lessons, which in between there are more lessons I haven't counted or numbered, and a 5 stage or 5 steps or 5 stage of process to develop them, bring them into your life. So simple. And I've organized them into under three domains. Some of the lessons are under systemic viewpoint and experience of our lives. Some of them are about our relationship to nature and planet and resources, natural resources, and how that really is very, very important for us to have incorporated in our understanding of how life works. And then most other 34 of those lessons are under human mind, brain, conduct, happiness, traumas, some of that. So this week I put out the question or the lesson under these are in page 141. By the way, so they are organized under MLOL, which means Mindful Life Optimization Lesson. MLOL stands for Mindful Life Optimization Lesson. So lesson number 16, which is under the planet domain, is talking about being mindful of the falsehood of ownership. Be mindful of how we have come to believe in we are the owners of stuff, things, people, relationships, and we own them, and how that could cause us suffering, cause us dilemmas, cause us conflict, cause us undue agony, undue burden, undue suffering. And so with that, I was thinking of actually opening it up to people and see what do you think of this feeling of owning something and how it could make you unhappy when you actually have that kind of a feeling. Um, would you guys would
Oh,
you like to do that on recording? Is that okay for you? Okay, that would be lovely to hear so that we can use that as a way of teaching. Go ahead, Kathy, and let me see if we can.
the first thing, right when you said falsehood of ownership, I immediately went to saying, my son, my husband, my house, right? Like, and how it does bring you so much responsibility and so much drama because it isn't yours and you're not responsible, especially when it comes to people, right? To like automatically it feels like you have some right to
Hmm.
control or to change or to I, I can feel it. I can feel it when I say it.
I like that. I like that view and angle of the responsibility that we take on as an absolute fact, and that makes us suffer. I mean, some responsibilities are wise, necessary, right, and others are not. But that feeling of I own, this is my son, I'm supposed to. This is my stuff I'm supposed to. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Mary?
I kind of went all over the place with different things, right? Like, I immediately went to the suffering with loss, kind of, right? And owning that or adding to that. Um, I think grief has just been a big one this year in so many different ways for me. So I've just been trying to be more mindful of not internalizing that additional suffering that I can contribute
Hmm.
to the given reality of the situation. And that also includes enabling others' patterns as well, right? Because I have a lot of people around me who aren't exactly the best at dealing with things or coping with things. So even when it's something that's impacting me directly, I've taken on the role of having to calm them down or to ease their minds or whatever else, right? So there's a lot that kind of comes with that sentence for me. And
Hmm.
I feel like it's in so many different where the things I can control, but then that enabling part still comes in where it's like, whether or not you want to do it, you feel like it's an obligation because there is no other way because it hasn't been another way up until now, if that makes sense.
Falls under that sense of responsibility or
Yeah.
attachment. Yeah.
Not necessarily one I wanted to assume, but it
Right.
was kind of given. Also
Yeah.
occupational, like, because it's like certain things are expected of you too, right? Into certain ways of
Yeah.
of taking on the pressures with that.
Yeah, right. That's great. Yeah. So the lesson here it talks about, ownership of any kind, especially material. I mean, my gosh, we had this horrendous thing that happened with the fires and the loss of so much belonging, so much
Mm.
memory, so much history, so much, oh my God. I mean, what do you do with that? And so this the nature, this is under the planet, planet's domain. And my purpose was to bring attention and awareness to natural laws. One of the
Mhm.
natural laws is whatever integrates disintegrates. Whatever
Mm.
integrates has the potential or is subject to disintegrate. Anything, anything, a relationship, a glass that is being made, whatever integrates. So if you think about it, and then I brought the framework of frame of reference about the elements. Just let's use that right now, that whatever is solid is earth, whatever is cold, temperature, heat, cold is fire, whatever is moving, like my hand is moving right now, is the element of wind. Movement is wind. Whatever is space, empty space, is the element of space. And then so earth is the solid, wind is movement, fire is temperature, and water. So if you think about just the original, the elements in their own original form, solid earth form, they don't
Mhm.
disintegrate necessarily onto themselves to something else. Wind may move them, water may change them, heat may do something to them, but they just stay the same.
Mhm.
Water itself, by itself, doesn't change it doesn't disintegrate to something else unless something comes and causes it to disintegrate, right? But when you mix these together, like human body has all of these. Human body is made of all these elements. They're mixed together, they are bound to fall apart because they're not the same of each other. You know what I mean? They're different elements. They've just bonded through some kind of a chemistry or mechanism. They've bonded. Whatever bonds is subject to this bond. And this is how it is. This is how it is. So it could I
Is
want
that the same as impermanence?
yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But then I went in and looked at it from another angle to make sense out of it.
Mhm.
What's the logic of it? Why does change happen? Why does change happen? Why? And impermanence is not the ending of things, but the changing of things
Mm.
from one form to another.
Mm.
So that's another thing to kind of unpack about uncertainty, impermanence, things are not forever. It doesn't mean necessarily that there is of course death and birth. But then before birth of this being, of this body, there were sperms and eggs in other bodies before us that came forward to make this body, in our ancestors. Oh, God knows, back to the one cell in the ocean. Whew, So there is no death in a sense of absolute out of
Mm.
existence,
It's just
or
transition.
birth as absolute beginning of something. It's just changing form and transition. So to bring these concepts from philosophical, theoretical stuff into the life, into our life, and seeing it happen all the time. Like as soon as yesterday, I broke a very beautiful cup I had for a long time with a golden rim, with the leaves, beautiful leaves on it. It just easily, just with a little bit of nudge, it fell into the sink and it broke. It took me maybe one tenth of a, oh, somebody's coming in. It took me 1/10 of a second to realize, oh yeah, it's supposed, yeah, okay, it just broke. You know what I mean? Hi, Parveen. How did you make it? To the people are getting in, or if there is difficulty with Zoom and stuff, that's why I was asking. Okay, good. Well, good to have you. Glad you came. And this is kind of an extension of things we're talking about in class. And in particular, I was asking people to read MLOL lesson number 16, which is about how false it is to believe that we own anything from the nature's perspective. Yeah, go ahead.
So does anything really end, or is it really just transitioning into something else? Because it also depends on belief, right? Like you could look at life itself, right? And if depending on what your belief is of the afterlife, or if there is
It would make it easy to believe something and make that permanent. That belief becomes permanent.
so
Yeah.
even if it's to believe that impermanence is transition, that
Yeah.
becomes the other
You
belief.
have to investigate it. Yeah. If you don't be with it, experience it, and investigate it, constantly see it in action happening, it could become another thought process. It could become another, and then you don't even realize that you've been suffering for about a week now about something, and all of a sudden you remember, oh yeah, impermanence, you know.
Mm.
So my encouragement is always to continually be investigating and looking and seeing it in action. That nothing is.
Mhm.
You verify it for yourself. So coming back to the 5 stage, because there is a 5 stage of developing this. I'm not just saying to accept, oh, this is my idea, this is what I believe in, this is what I learned, this is what I, really, really believe is true, and then that's okay, take it. No, I'm offering a 5 stage from chapter 6 and 7. If you go to chapter 6, there are the 5 stage of working with any of the lessons, right? In the book is page 63. In the PDF, I don't know on the ebook what page that would be, but page 63, chapter 6, logic behind the MLOL, right? You read that a little bit, the objectivity of that, and then look at the end of that second page, uh, how to how to take this lesson through stage one. Stage one is, why should I accept this? So this no belief system. It will become a belief when you have over and over and over and over seen it play out. Then it's kind of a scientifically proven that it can replicate itself, right? Then it becomes a belief based on trust, confidence that yes, this such a lesson is actually true. So you take it through. What do you think of this lesson? Do you have prior knowledge of this subject? How does its explanation compare to what you already know? Can you see that delving deeper into this topic might be helpful to you or someone else? Can you see the logic and intention behind this lesson? So this lesson's promise is, look, if you see that not we don't really there is no possible permanent ownership of anything, it will benefit you. You will suffer less when you lose something, right? That's the gist of that lesson. You kind of run it through stage one, and then stage two, chapter 7, right after that, is now mindfully authenticate for yourself. How do I authenticate? If you jump to the end of that, there are three stages. One, become present, right? So if we're not present, it's difficult to mindfully author. Two, examine, which I have explained each of them how to do. And then three is to recognize, realize or recognize, which is that's the verification. So even in part two, examine. Part one, how to become present. I have given some instruction. Part two, examine. There are questions, 5 questions. This thing that you say, oh, I don't really, what do you mean I don't own? I have the deed to my car. I just paid it off actually. The bank sent me the deed. Like, oh yes, oh my God, I own the car. you know? So how much I
Yeah.
invest into that belief of the ownership, right? Let's say, God forbid, I didn't
Mhm.
have insurance or something. I got into an accident and it's totaled. What happened to my ownership? What happened to so that's gonna bring me agony. So it's not permanent, right? It's not, it is subject to change. When you really get it, with all these different ways of looking at it, from your relationship to your children or parents or family, from relationship to your material, from to your status, to your money, to your job, to your whatever, when you see it really throughout all these different contexts, then something settles in you. Something becomes calm and peaceful and like, oh, I mean, there could be periods of time where you may feel like, oh, then what's the point? And no, no, no. If I'm never gonna own
Mhm.
anything, then I can try and lose hope or something. But that's not, absolutely not necessary. That is just another outcome of believing in ownership or wanting it to be real. Parvin, do
Mm.
you have thoughts? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I want to make sure I give you. So then, when you have mindfully authenticated it in chapter 7, chapter 8, which is page 70, uh, gives you development. How do I develop this knowing? How do I cultivate this knowing? And there are 5 steps, I'm sorry, 4 steps to do that. Uh, with clarity, which I've explained, having good, clear instructions, being focused on the effects, and normalization, which is like bringing it into your life and like a daily practice and daily understanding. So this alone can ease up a lot of uh, um, burdensome striving, burdensome striving, or going from one thing to another, to another, to another, and trying to keep it actual. Everything, the lesson of impermanence, which is in a different lesson, which is under lesson, actually, that's lesson number 1, MLOL number 1, change. Everything is bound to change. Nothing is for sure. It's
Mhm.
just the way it is. So, not to lose hope or lose sense of certainty or sense of confidence. But once you get it, your sense of confidence goes up actually. Because you laugh at everything. It's like, haha, I thought that cup was so beautiful. Okay. It was beautiful as long as it was functional. When it doesn't function anymore, when it it's not beautiful anymore, what happened to the beauty? Right? It's all subjective.
Mhm.
Everything is
Mhm.
subjective. And I even thought about, oh, because the handle was broken, I thought, oh, maybe I should keep it. Maybe I'll use it for something. Immediately, I threw it into the trash. Immediately, because I saw clinging. I saw attachment trying to be alive. How many things do you want to keep? What do you need? Do you remember all these other creatures? They don't need anything. All they need is safety, shelter, food. That's it. And they go through their life and they're done. So I would encourage you, if you like, to just take that lesson and go through stages 1, 2, 3 as a practice. This would give you practice in how to develop any kind of inner quality, how to develop any kind of inner quality with those. And then there, of course, there is stage 4, which is transformation, and that means now it's more effortless, but then you can continue. On stage 5, optimization is actually when you go through all the 60 lessons, you have the good amount of handle on them, you feel, you feel confident about them, and you are just, your brain is optimized. Your life becomes much more effective to gain a sense of stability, completeness, wholeness. There are 60 of these lessons I've put together, at least, that um, that can be really helpful. I mean, you could take this one book and just keep working on it, because they're compiled with a lot of different things that you might get them from a spiritual place, or another workshop in psychology, or a workshop in something else, and workshop in something else. And they're all bits and pieces, disconnected bits and pieces. Here you have them compiled in one place, and I'm hoping that it could be, and I wrote this, I'm present to help people sort them out. Yeah. So patience, loving kindness, a sense of understanding what is attachment, what is up to me, and what is my brain is, doing it. And, my brain gets wired with other people's brains, constantly wired with other people's, their discomfort, their anxiety, their happiness, their stability. Learning who do I surround myself with. And that takes time, right? It takes time to shed relationships that are, more useful, or uh, uh, have another good saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, see, it's all comes back down to knowing what to do and doing it effortlessly.
It's that effortlessly
Yeah.
that takes the while. That it's like, muscle memory, I suppose, right?
Yeah. So this stage is 1 to 3 development, 4 is transformation, which is the effortlessly. So I encourage you to even read those stages and see how they manifest for you. I had to keep them more general, but I'm available. Ask questions, write to me and say, you said this. This doesn't make sense. Or how do you apply it here? Or how you apply it there? You know? Um, yeah. So great discussion.